Testing, testing, testing. Yeah, guys, welcome back. How are you? Hope everyone is in good health, safe, and in good spirits at the time me doing this. I just wanted to make a video today, as you'll see in the title. It's about my thoughts on Sony pulling and postponing their show this upcoming June the 4th for the future of their company and the system. As we know, the PS5. And before I get into the topic, I really want to start by saying I'm the type of person, when I do videos like this, I like to do videos to point out things and talk about things more for the value of it being something to show the truth in what I do, or what the topic is, or speak on it and stuff of that nature. And usually when I do these videos, the first thing I've always noticed is I don't get the traffic, the love, the respect from the people in the gaming community, because the first thing they see is the title, and the first thing they think is, oh, there it is, here goes another video from Ebot, that he's just trying to be a console warrior, that I'm a person that really are more of a crumb side and not really a person with knowledge and intellect, and that know how to talk about a subject matter or something that's within the space and realm of gaming, for example. With coherent and cohesive thought process or thinking, and most of the time the people that know me, and that know me in a much deeper sense, in a much deeper personal way, know that that is something that's really furthest from the truth when it comes to me. I'm a very passionate person about what I say and what I do and how I present it, about gaming, about the history of gaming, and what goes on in it, And it's a shame that I have to kind of contradict and second guess myself, or not contradict, but second guess myself about when I want to do something. Because a lot of times, to be honest, it just feels like I'm wasting my time, because I don't feel like people come and see me enough that that show like they actually care, right? So a lot of times, I basically I come on and I say what I say because it's from the heart, and it's because I care about the industry and the culture, right? And I just want that people listen to me first with what I'm gonna say, and instead of just thinking, hey, I'm trying to just spread things to just be a bonehead, or because I'm just trying to be toxic, like they say, right, in the community. So, to get to my thoughts with the Sony situation and the Sony, postponing their show. I said yesterday when 100 went live on his show that a lot of things, that if Sony actually did this right, from respect and care to the people and for the situation, then I commend them for it. It's very classy, and I think it's great that they actually show their respects, right? Just like anybody else, in the industry would, right? But unfortunately, because I've known how Sony had so many practices through the years, right, of basically doing a lot of bogus things for propaganda and for agendas, really, right? to kind of make themselves look like the media darling or the good guys in the industry all the time, and use whatever situation presents itself and is given to them to their advantage, and they use it very well. And they've done this with companies that they've done business with transactions that they've done, even when they've gotten blatantly caught in a lie or in some type of he said she said, even though that it shows that they clearly were at fault. So my doubt comes from that point of view, right? Because this is a company that through the years has blatantly been caught talking about people that were in business with them about race, talking about them being black and not being great actors, and being real racist towards the black actors themselves and the culture and the community, with people that has been working for them for many years, and yet nobody called them out on that. Nobody said anything. They kind of brushed it under the rug, right? And then when they brushed it under the rug, they were like, oh, it never happened, right? Or when they stole money from certain companies, saying they made a certain amount of box office money and they didn't, or when they lied about saying that certain things they're bringing out were a certain way and they weren't, or when they've done things like, like when they stole, I think it was some royalties from Michael Jackson's music, or stole from him being a black artist and a very big artist in the label, where Michael wanted out. He wanted to do his own thing at the time. And people, seem to forget and play the amnesia role, like they don't act like they don't remember these things. And it's always mind-boggling because they give them a pass all the time. And, like yesterday, when we were talking in the live chat, with 100, shout outs to Livewire, he brought up a subject and a topic or an idea that, I was like, that makes sense if that could be a possibility, that could be it. But he said that Sony always likes to have their eyes always invested in them, and they like to have the attention invested in them. And because of this, right, since they have their eyes invested in them and have their eyes always attention to them, that it's a possibility that they could have pulled back from the show because they know right now nobody's going to really pay attention to them, and nobody's really going to care about anything in the gaming world with the PlayStation 5 and under these types of situations going on, and with the way that people are concentrating on something that's has a lot more value. It's about something of importance, and the rights and discrimination between blacks and their, and the fact that they are mistreated and has been ongoing, and this young man Floyd lost his life because of it, and it's a shame. And what I feel bad is about that the real Sony fans, right, at this moment in time, they've been really yearning and thirsty for a lot of good information for their future of their brand of choice, right? And so far, what they've really gotten has been, the name of the console, right? They've gotten the controller, or what it looks like, and also, they've gotten a demo, right, that was hosted by Jeff Keighley in his show from Epic Games, that was running the Unreal Engine graphic on a PS5 hardware, which was really a demo. And so I understand where they come from as far as being disappointed, and I can see why they would be upset. The same way I see others that are kind of like, damage controlling, saying it's okay, it's not a big deal, that's good, and praising Sony. Or the same way I've seen some saying, oh, if we waited all this time, it's not a problem waiting a little longer. Meanwhile, on the Xbox side of things, all the Xbox fans have really been getting nothing but little tidbits here and there since it was announced in the game show and revealed the Xbox Series X about the future of the next generation console. So, for me, I can't be disappointed. I can't be upset because obviously, we have nothing to be upset or just be as disappointed about. And, I can't really put myself in that position. But at the same time, like I said to people, I think that Sony used this situation. I'm saying to people that Sony used this situation to kind of give themselves more time, because I don't think that whatever they were going to show in their show was probably up to snuff or big enough to hype people up, for the future, as far as what's coming from themselves, and maybe it's more third party, because they said small and big, and so they want to give themselves more time to, perhaps get everything more polished and more presentable to make bigger impact. Like maybe show the actual console and what it looks like, because the console, as we all know, hasn't been shown, and they didn't talk about price and how it's going to look like. And even in the article when they talked about the show, they never said any of those things. They didn't allude to none of those things being part of the presentation for the hour show they were going to do. They just said games, small and big, and new things, being shown, and it was going to be just strictly games. So that leads me to suspect that maybe that they weren't going to even show the console yet, or the price, to hold off to see if Microsoft, spills the beans on what their price is going to be, because they want to react to what they do, to see if they can, outshine them like they always do, because they always go first when they do their presentations during E3 time. And I say this not like I said any malice. It's just from the experience of what their history is. They've always done this type of stuff where they lied and they sugarcoat things, and they get away with murder practically, and bad business practices, and nobody ever really calls them out, because they're not an American company, they're a Japanese company. So I guess they feel that it's not their place, or that it will look like something racist or wrong against their company, right? Which it shouldn't be, because everybody should, that's a customer, and obviously that that supports them has every right, or should have every right, to speak what they feel and how they feel, if they support the company, if they love the company, right? So I was saying also that it's also hard to believe, because, to be honest, what they could have really done right from the beginning, right, of the show, is when they started to do their show, they could have just done a presentation paying their respects to the Floyd family, to Floyd himself, may he rest in peace, right, and to the situation, and to support of the Black Lives Matter, because it's an important messaging, and not, I'm not saying to that so that to be okay with the bad people, or the bad apples, right, so to speak, that are out there doing the looting and stupid things that they shouldn't do, that giving a bad name to their black community and African American culture, right? And again, it's not just blacks, there's other people there with them following suit, but the majority you see are the blacks doing the stuff, right, and giving a bad interpretation, right? I'm not talking about those people that are trying to mess it up and ruining what the message is all about. I'm talking about for the people that actually care, and that are doing this for the right reason, because they want things to be better, not only for their culture and their people, but in for society as a whole, period. Because black folks are not animals, they're not just garbage, nobody is, and that's the main goal that everybody should want, equality, no matter what. But I feel it's a really nasty practice if Sony's using this situation to white knight themselves and for propaganda to look like the media darlings, especially like I said under the circumstances. And it would be even worse if they were just doing it because they want all eyes on them. But I said that it could have been easily been approached and people would have still took it as something classy, something worth mentioning because they still showed their respect and still showed that they cared, and at the same time they also showed that they wanted to kind of give their fan base something positive to talk about or to look forward to, other than the negativity and the what you call that, and the awful things that you're seeing on social media, on TV, on the news, and things like that. Like gaming is a very powerful tool, and we've seen that, especially since all this horrible times and crisis since the COVID pandemic started. How gaming has united us in a bigger, broader, and deeper way than we've ever seen before, right? And experienced or even witnessed before, because we've never had a situation like this before. This situation is very unique and was never really ever this bad, ever. And a lot of people look at gaming as, it's just it's just a toy, it's just a hobby. And in reality, gaming has saved people from the streets, from going to jail, from harm's way, from getting killed, from doing drugs or going back to that type of life. And that's why I said that it's an escapism that benefits everyone, and that heals a lot of wounds and mends a lot of wounds. It gives a lot of freedom in the mind and in the spirit, and that's what a lot of teenage black kids and all types of other kids from other ethnicities, obviously. But since we're talking about what's going on with the black community and culture, with this, segregation and the way they're being treated, that, it's important to them to have some positivity and not just the negativity they're seeing at the moment. So a lot of those kids, I'm pretty sure are Sony fans, those people. And just giving them that little sense of fresher breath air, I think would have gone a long way. So with that being said, me looking from the outside in, I don't think that it was the right call on Sony's part not to do, because again, shout outs to Livewire. I didn't know this till yesterday when we were on the live stream with 100. They announced this pretty much, I think was 3 days already in after everything started. So they even went as far as, making a TV ad. And if they were actually trying to pay the respects, I think they realized, well, we could use this to our advantage, because if they actually were trying to pay their respects, right, then they probably would have been like, you know what? Why don't we, when they announced it, they said, to the people in the community, we were planning to do our show on June 4th, but due to the horrible circumstances and ugly times and the importance of the people needing to be heard for other more important messagings in life, we feel that it's the proper thing to just hold back for a few weeks or a couple of days until we can actually bring our show back to our fans that we're looking forward to it, and show that they were being genuine and honest. I think that would have proved it even more right from the very beginning if they did it that way. And that was something Livewire had brought up, and I had said that would you're right, I get what he was trying to say. So it all seems like hypocritical. All of a sudden, out of nowhere, oh, because of this situation when they already announced it while it was a situation that was already ongoing, which kind of shows that maybe it's just something else behind it, And again, I'll say it again. If they're actually being genuine, then kudos to them. I salute to them. I think it's classy. But now the problem with that is also that it brings is that now other companies like Microsoft, Ubisoft, EA, and Activision, now they got to watch how they approach the situation, because now it's going to make it seem like, well, if Sony did it, it's inexcusable for anybody else not to do it. And it's going to make it seem like if, they have their shows and go forward with stuff, now they don't care about the black community, or now they don't care about Floyd's family or what happened to him, or the principality of the situation, And I think that's a dangerous line that is going to be thread, because E3 was already canceled due to the circumstance of pandemic, and these digital shows, again, have nothing to do with what's going on in the outside world. In the contrary, they work as a positive, venue, right? So that people can vent and feel a sense of peace and feel a sense of escape in their mind, because that's why you're seeing all these all these subscriptions models and gaming going high, and things selling out, and consoles being sold everywhere, games being sold. That's why they're at an all-time high, because this is what's been connecting us and unifying us, and in a way that hasn't happened in a very long time, or probably in the history as a whole of gaming. It's never happened. So I think the Sony fans deserve that. I think they deserve to have had the show. Deserve to have had the show, just for them to have something positive to look forward to. And by them not doing that and then not giving it to them, it's just not really helping the situation, And I think they could have still, they could have still given the messaging of them being supportive and empathetic to the people and how they're feeling, and their anger and their hate and their malice and their worries about, and their hurt, right, about this situation right now with all these riots and what happened to Floyd and his family. So, I mean, you guys may agree with me, you guys may not, but what I'm saying really is coming from the heart, really from my thought of, how I see it, that it would have been more beneficial and worked better in a positive way, than a negative way, right? But it's just my real concern is that, like I said, that now because of this, everybody else is going to put in a position where they're going to have to second guess what they do, and then it's going to just put us where we're not even going to have any E3 to look forward to, even digitally, because now it looks like well, if anybody else does it differently, they don't really care, they don't really respect, because what I said initially was, had Microsoft, knowing how dirty and nasty the crumb side of the PlayStation community can be, and I don't mean the real fans, I mean the trolls and the dummies. The first thing would have been like, oh, it's good. You see, Microsoft is just using this as a scapegoat because Halo 5 is not ready, or because they don't have nothing to show, or because they're just trying to fake people to thinking that they have games and they don't really have games. That's what they would have said. They would have tried to push that agenda. Not only would it have been the fans, but the media would have done it, because again, you guys know we live in a generation that we saw them make a big deal and problems out of things like the brick that's supposed to protect the console. They made articles and damaged Xbox perception with things like, oh, I can't find the setting. The console's too cumbersome and convoluted with the menu or with the hub. So for them to do something like that with a twist this around, I could have easily seen it being a possibility. Plus I've seen it done before with other companies when it came to helping or giving Sony the upper hand on something. So I wouldn't have been. It would have not surprised me, is what I'm trying to say. If it had been Microsoft, it would have been a different story. I truly believe that because it's been done. It's been proven already. It's not like I'm making it up. It's just been proven. So again, it's kind of like being between a brick wall and a stone, because on one hand of me, on one side of me tells me, yeah, give Sony the benefit of the doubt, because the reality is we don't know if they're really being truthful. But on the other hand, my doubt, because I've seen what they've done through the years and being crumb side, right, and being disingenuous and being, really about selfish, it's always been about them, lets me feel and believe that this is just, there's something behind this. It's not really about the support of what they want to make themselves seem it is about, or like of the situation of Floyd's family and the people in the African American community, in the black community, in the urban community, that suffer the most, because I'm from the urban community. I know. And it goes on with the Hispanics too, but it's just something that is more prominent. You see more, with obviously within the black community, and it's a shame. It has to stop. I completely agree. But what Andres says something that you can't really hold back. It's best to open up and be honest and be truthful, because I think that's very true. I think it's important, because if we hold back for the sake of people thinking that they're going to think bad about us, then that shows that we don't really trust in ourselves, in our own brand, and in what we believe in as gamers, as YouTube influencers, and as human beings, to be honest. When I talk from the heart. I don't try to talk from a place of hurting others. Like, making a video like this is not for me to make a video because I'm trying to just do a console war and be hateful towards a brand or towards people, because there are more important things going on right now, and that's a fact. But I am talking because I care about gaming, I care about the culture, I care about the industry, and I really do believe that people need this escape. I think people really, this video game is binding us together. It's making us happy, making us play things that we never thought we would even play and like something like Minecraft Dungeons. I don't like Minecraft, but I played it and I really like it and I'm enjoying it. Something I would have never done, but because we're in the situation that we are now, due to the pandemic, and now this situation as well, with curfews being putting in effect and stuff. This makes it easier for us to sit down and just say, hey, maybe this video game thing is exactly what I needed, or what the doctor ordered, right? For peace of mind, spiritually, mentally, and just to give us an escape, So I hope you guys really take the time to listen to the video and see where I'm trying to come from and what I'm trying to say. And even though I don't agree with what Sony did, I hope you don't think that I'm just saying that because I'm self-centered, don't care, and that I'm selfish, and that I don't respect the family of Floyd and the people in the black community and their culture and what's going on. because I'm just speaking from the heart because I think it's necessary, right? But I'm trying to speak open-mindedly, trying to give you a different point of view and perspective, so that you guys that are viewing can see and say, hey, look, maybe he's right. He makes a good valid point, or he makes several good valid points. Because, again, Sony's a company that has given us every reason in every situation, to have doubt in them, because they've done, really grimy things in the past, and that's not me just throwing shade. It's true. They have. And we can't sugarcoat it, So guys, let me know what you think down below in the comment section. Hit me up if you ever want to do anything. You guys know where to find me. You can hit me up and we can, rock out, do a show or do an interview or talk. If you want to, go against anything I put out, like to talk and say your perspective, this point of view, just let me know what the deal is. Just hit me up, and as long as you're respectful and civil, I'm the type of person that I talk with everyone. I don't have a problem with that. I'm not, I'm not an evil person. I'm not a monster. Very easygoing. I hope that you guys enjoyed it. Leave me a like with a thumbs up. Leave me a dislike with a thumbs down. However you feel after you watch the video, it's your right. I'm not gonna ask you and beg you to do anything in my favor, and that's it. I want you to just be you. That's it. If you like it, you like it. If you don't, well, then you don't. We don't always have to agree, or we're not always gonna agree. That's just the way life is. As much as it sucks, but it's the truth. I'm just being a realist, being realistic. But I do want people to see that my videos are for the intentions of bringing out the messaging from the heart for what it is in a good intentions, but being realistic, not because I'm just trying to be a hater or just trying to be a console war starter. So for those of you that stopped by for the first time, thank you and welcome. If you subscribe to my channel, really, I don't know how to thank you in words with more than just a thank you, because it means the world to me. But if you did, just remember I consider you guys part of my family now. And as always, if you don't have a problem, share it with someone you think might like the video. So guys, I guess I'll see you soon in the next one. I felt like doing the video because people I see give attention to other people when they do videos of these subject matters, and they get positive feedback, even though I've been trying to do videos with a lot of subject matters in a positive way for a very long time, and people just don't look at it that way. They look at it as, don't even give it a chance and think automatically it's bad content, or I'm just being toxic, or I'm being uneducated or hateful. So hopefully, I just want people to see that that's furthest from the truth. It's not that. I just don't act disingenuous. I'm going to be myself, and I'm going to say how I feel and how my thought process is, and then explain it to you and try to break it down so that you can understand where I'm coming from. And hopefully you'll get it. And if you don't, and it's not my intent, but what can I do? I can't force you to believe what I'm trying to tell you, right? So guys, I'll see you soon. I hope you like it, and I'll take care, everyone. Be safe, be respectful, and show love for the Floyd family and the black community, and all those being discriminated that are not black as well by these cops and the government and the judicial system and the law that's supposed to be protecting us, not harming us and hurting us in any way. So guys, until the next one, this is me, Hebot, signing off. It's been a pleasure, man. I see you guys soon, okay? Talk to you then. Bye-bye.